After a long, heavy rain, the forest was filled with mud and fallen leaves, and the air was still damp and cool. Little Mouse's family's home, located under a large tree, was badly damaged. Rainwater had seeped into their nest, leaving the ground inside wet and no longer safe for them to stay. Father Mouse, Mother Mouse, and their two little mice stood outside their nest, looking worried. Mother Mouse gently held the two little mice close, trying to comfort them, while Father Mouse looked around with a saddened expression, trying to figure out how to help his family. Their old home was no longer a safe shelter, and they didn't know where to go in this vast forest. The two little mice seemed frightened, clinging tightly to Mother Mouse, their round eyes filled with anxiety. Little Mouse's family was in a difficult situation, and they needed help to find a new, safe and dry place to stay. After a heavy rain, the home of Little Mouse's family was badly damaged and no longer safe to stay in. Father Mouse, Mother Mouse, and their two little mice stood outside, looking worried and unsure of what to do. Just then, White Rabbit, with his soft white fur and friendly long ears, appeared and noticed the family's hardship. White Rabbit gently approached them, crouching down and speaking in a warm, soothing voice. "Don't worry, everything will be okay. I'll help you find a new, safer place to stay." White Rabbit's words made Little Mouse's family feel reassured, and a glimmer of hope began to shine in their eyes. White Rabbit placed a comforting paw on Father Mouse's shoulder and gently patted the two little mice who were trembling with fear. "I won't leave you alone. Trust me," White Rabbit said, his eyes filled with determination and kindness. The Little Mouse family could feel the sincere care from White Rabbit, and their worries began to fade away. With enthusiasm and determination, White Rabbit decided to help Little Mouse's family find a new, dry, and safe place to live, so they could feel at peace after the heavy rain. After comforting Little Mouse's family, White Rabbit set out across the forest to find a new, safe and dry place for them to stay. With keen eyes and a sharp sense of awareness, White Rabbit carefully checked each tree base, rock crevice, and dense bush. White Rabbit moved gracefully along shaded forest paths, occasionally stopping to observe and sniff the ground to ensure that the area hadn't become damp after the rain. When he spotted a small rock crevice covered with leaves and dry inside, White Rabbit crouched down to examine it closely. He sensed that this could be an ideal shelter for Little Mouse's family. Throughout his search, White Rabbit occasionally paused to listen to the sounds of the forest and feel the stillness around, ensuring that the area was safe with no predators or threats nearby. He continued to check other areas with determination, as he wanted to find the best possible place where Little Mouse's family could stay peacefully and comfortably. After a thorough search, White Rabbit finally found an ideal shelter. He happily hurried back to share the news with Little Mouse's family, his eyes shining with pride, knowing he had found a safe home for his little friends. After a careful search, White Rabbit finally found an ideal shelter for Little Mouse's family. It was a spacious, dry rock crevice nestled between two large tree trunks, surrounded by leaves that provided wind protection and kept the area warm. Sunlight filtered through the leaves above, casting soft, gentle spots of light on the ground, making this shelter look both safe and cozy. White Rabbit looked around, inspecting every corner of the shelter. He felt very pleased, knowing that this place was not only dry, but also well protected from rain and wind. This will surely be a wonderful home for Little Mouse's family, White Rabbit thought to himself with joy. Without further hesitation, White Rabbit turned and quickly ran back to share the good news with Little Mouse's family. His eyes sparkled with pride, knowing he had found a safe place for his little friends. White Rabbit led Little Mouse's family to the new shelter, dry and cozy rock crevice he had found. Upon arriving, Little Mouse's family looked around with joy, feeling the safety and warmth of their new home. Their eyes sparkled with happiness, and the two little mice jumped excitedly, thrilled to see their spacious and peaceful new home. Father Mouse and Mother Mouse turned to White Rabbit, their eyes filled with gratitude. Father Mouse said, "Thank you so much, White Rabbit. Without your help, we wouldn't know what to do." "You are a wonderful friend." White Rabbit smiled humbly and replied, "It's nothing. I'm happy to help. This is your new home. May you live here happily." The two little mice waved joyfully, thanking White Rabbit with bright eyes. White Rabbit waved goodbye, his heart full of happiness and pride. Knowing that Little Mouse's family had found a safe place to stay, he left them in their warm new home, with a radiant smile and joy spreading throughout the forest.